Okay, folks, we're going to do a little bit more of this Hebrew today. And if you recall, I did some of this yesterday or the day before, rather. And we worked on Targil 3, Targil Shalosh, which is exercise 3. And we basically had to decide whether the definite marker, the et, were to go in the sentence. And I think I got most of those right. I think about 3 of them. I learned a lot. I hope you did too. Now, this next set of exercises, they don't include the answer key with this. That's because there's possibility for some wiggle room there with the answers. And so what I'm going to do before I get started here, I'm going to see if I can. Uh-oh, doesn't look like I'm streaming live here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I am streaming live group. Okay, okay. Let's see, make sure I get these groups. Okay, all right, so I got all that done. And so we're going to take a look here at Targil 4, exercise 4, Kara Mishpatim im Milah. Okay, so read sentences with the word. Kara Mishpatim im Milah Mikol Tur. Okay. And it looks like it might be tour.
קרא משפטים עם מילה מכל תור.
Yeah, מכל tour.
קרא משפטים עם מילה מכל תור.
Yeah, מכל tour. Okay, so I think this is probably a whole limb there. Okay, so read the sentences with a word from each turn. So this tour is turn. And then from kol, remember kol can be every or each. It's a kind of a versatile Hebrew word. Okay, so what they want us to do here is somehow they want us to match up using one of these. And then if it requires the et, then we are to put that in there. So let's see what we can come up with here. So we have Hamoreh Shalanu. Okay, so the teacher, our teacher, belonging to us, Shalanu. Okay, let's see if we can get something that means, first what we need to do is see what these are. Falafel, zafisa. This looks like a falafel. So that has something to do with eating. How about this one? How to show? That's the news. Abba ve'ima shali, mother and father, my mother and father, Yerushalayim, bet hakaneset hadashot. Okay, so this is basically the house of worship. Bet hakaneset hadashot. It's hadashah, I think. Hadashah. Hadashah. Yeah, it doesn't want to. Or it might be Hadash. That's what it is. The new synagogue.
בית הכנסת החדש.
Yeah, Hadash. Beit HaKnesset Hadash. So the new synagogue. Okay, so this Hamoreh Shalanu, I don't think connects to any of these. Let's see, Shakot. How about this one? Hashkanayim Hadashim. I think that Hashkanayim Hadashim. Let's see here. Okay, that's right. The new neighbors, Hadashim. Hahadishim. Yeah, that's right.
השכנים החדשים.
Yeah, Hashkanim.
השכנים החדשים.
Okay, and then how about this one? Beyonsa. This looks like Beyonsa.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, that's the name of a singer. Okay, so this word, this Hamore Shalano, we got to find something that fits with this. It could be our teacher, Hamore Shalanu. How about if we were to say, Ohave likes. Let me think of this. I think this Pogesh. Yeah.
פוגש.
Yeah, that's the meeting one. This one's the reading one. This is want, rotza. Shoma is to listen or roa is to see. So I got to figure out something to match with this here. Amore Shalanu. Okay, so our teacher what? I think I'm going to go with Ohev Yerushalayim, likes Jerusalem. And I think that because it's a proper, it's the name of a city. Let me double check here. Oh, baby. I got my dog whining here for some reason. Let's see here. When it is proper, okay, Yerushalayim. Okay, so that's when it's considered definite. So I'm thinking that probably this requires an et for Yerushalayim. Let's see. Double check this here. Yeah, when it is a proper noun. When is a noun considered definite? And it's definite means that you use the et. And so when it is a proper noun, Yerushalayim. Okay, so I think we're going to do here is try this. Hamore Ohev, our teacher, Ohev, et Yerushalayim. Okay, so I think that makes sense. Our teacher likes Jerusalem. Hamore Shaleno Ohev et Yerushalayim. Yeah, our teacher loves Jerusalem.
המורה שלנו אוהב את ירושלים.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Let's try another one. We've got here, this is Orhot Shli. Orhot Shli. Orhot Shli. Yeah, my guest.
האורחות שלי.
Orhot Shli. Okay, Orhot Shli. So my guess. What about your guess? Let's see, what's this Shakot?
שקט.
Shaket. It's a
שקט.
okay. Let's see. That means quiet. Shakanim hadashim. Okay, so השכנים החדשים. The neighbors.
השכנים.
השוכנים.
השכנים.
השוכנים.
השכנים.
All right, hashokanim. Okay, we're gonna find something that matches with my guest. Harohot sheli, my guest what? Let's see. Ahadoshot. I wonder if it's if it works with this one here. Rotsa want. What do they want? I bet you. Let's try this here. Rotsa want falafel see falafel but see best. Falafel. There we go. That's right, falafel. And then the second word here, I'm not sure what that is. Let's check it out here.
Falafel וציפס.
So it's like chips, but cheaps, but cheaps.
Falafel וציפס.
And notice that this mark here, it basically turns this zadik into like a ch sound, chi. And then you have the yod, e, and then this pay, and then samic. So it's almost like transliteration, chips. Okay, so they like falafel and chips. So I'm gonna say orohot sheli. So my guess let's see, rotsa want it. I don't think we're going to have the et there. I think it's just going to be falafel and chips because it's not definite. It's not the falafel and chips. It's just they want falafel and chips. So there's no et there. So I think that's a possibility there. Let's try this. Geveret Zahavi. So that's Mrs. Zahavi. What about Mrs. Zahavi? Let's see here. Now this Hadashot is the news. The news. How about if we say that she reads the news? Geveret Zahavi ro'ah, Geveret Zahavi ro'ah, and then because it's definite, I think we're going to use this here. Et Hadashot. Reads the news. What does she read? She reads the news. She doesn't just read news. She reads the news. Therefore, the et, the definite marker, must be there. Okay, how about this one here? Ani, let's see here. Vechachaver. Vechachaver. So I and the friend. I and the friend. Shali. So I and my friend, basically. Ani vechaver. So it's kind of like ve. So it's like haver, kind of like that. Vechaver. And then shali. So I and my friend, what? What about it? Bet Knesset Hadash. So a new synagogue. See, so our if we say Shema, well, it wouldn't be that. It's got to be something that's plural. So how about Shom? shomim. So ani haver shali. So I am my friend. And how about we use this one here and say shomayim. And I think that's what it would be. Ani vehahaver shali shomim. Yeah, and it's I missed a we got to have an ayin in here. Okay, shomim. Ani hahaver. I and my friend listen. And how about we do we'll put a bet here. Baveit HaKnesset HaHadash. Baveit HaKnesset HaHadash. Okay, all right, and then I think we're going to have, yeah, and then we're going to put it, Baveit HaKnesset HaHadash. So listen in. This is like Knesset is synagogue, and then HaHadash is new. So listen into the new synagogue, essentially. So the whole thing is going to be Ani v'haver shali shomim. So I and my friend belonging to me, shali, shomim, are listening, baveit hakneset chadash. Okay.
אני והחבר שלי שומעים בבית הכנסת החדש. אני והחבר שלי שומעים בבית הכנסת החדש.
Look, it's baveit.
אני והחבר שלי שומעים בבית הכנסת החדש.
I think it is baveit. That's what I thought. It's baveit because this loses the dagesh. The dagesh goes away, so it's baveit hakneset hadash. All right, so that's possibility. This one doesn't have an answer key, as I said before, but you're just trying to match these up, and you're matching these verbs, and you're whether you're using the direct object marker, which is et, depends on whether whatever the action is impacting is direct or indirect. So that's why you would use the et or not. Okay, so let's go down here. Le deber. I think this is le deber. I think is two. Le deber. Yeah, to speak. That's right.
לדבר.
Le deber. Okay, so le deber is to speak, and then we have medaber. If you were to say like ani medaber, it'd be like I am speaking. If you were to say at medaberet, it would be you. If you were a female speaking, you would use this form here, medaberet. And then if you were to say anaknu medaberim, we are speaking. And then if you were to say aten medaberot, notice aten would be you, all females, aten. And so that would look like this. And then with a noon suffix, aten merberot, you all are speaking. Okay, so it looks like the shoresh. Now the shoresh, that means root. That's the root. And there's the root, dalet bet resh. Okay, so out of that root, you have all these forms. Whether it's, let me see, out of this root, you have all these forms, whether it's masculine singular, whether it's feminine singular, whether it's masculine plural, or whether it's feminine plural. Okay, so that's all connected to the shoresh, which means root. Okay, let's see here. Note the relationship between the present tense conjugation and the infinitive form of the verb, ledaber, which means literally to speak. The two are nearly identical, except for the lamed in the infinitive form as opposed to the mem in the present tense. Okay, so really this would be like I am speaking. I am speaking. So ani medaber, I am speaking. At medabaret, you are speaking. Anaknu medabarim, we are speaking. Aten medabarot, you all are speaking. It's in the present tense, and that is designated by the mem. Okay, let's see here. Now we are on Targila number 5. And I think that's
חמש.
yeah, Targil Hamesh. What I'm starting to do now is I'm going to start giving these numbers in Hebrew. So Targil Hamesh, which is exercise 5. Okay, so Hashalem Bapuil Ledaber. Okay, so complete in the verb form Ledaber. Hashalem Bapuil Ledaber. So here it is, Ledaber. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is in any of these blanks here, you're going to choose whether it's going to be this one, whether it's this one, whether it's going to be the masculine or mixed plural or the feminine plural. So this is pretty easy. This is pretty easy, at least for me. I've done a lot of these kinds of exercises. So let's see what we can come up with, and maybe hopefully I can get all these right. I think I will, most likely. Jonathan, who? Student. Okay, so Jonathan, he is a student. Le'avrit. So basically, Jonathan is a student of Hebrew. Jonathan, who? Student le'ivrit. Yeah.
יונתן הוא סטודנט לעברית.
Yeah, Jonathan, who student le'ivrit. Jonathan is a student of Hebrew. Okay, who blank ivrit. So remember, this is to speak. And this who is masculine singular. So which one are we going to use? Well, we can't use the feminine singular. We can't use the mixed plural, and we can't use the feminine plural. So that leaves us with this one, medaber. Okay, so who medaber ivrit. So he speaks Hebrew. And then who blank ivrit tov me'od. Now look at this right here. We need to put the same one in here because it's still talking about Jonathan. But it says he speaks Hebrew, and then this is tov, good, and me'od is very good. He speaks Hebrew very good. Well, that wouldn't be me. I can't speak Hebrew very good. I'm just learning here and there and trying to pick up what I can. And my son, however, he's way beyond me. He can speak it perfectly. But he lives in Jerusalem. So, all right. So let's see here. We're going to put medaber in there again. So we should have who medaber ivrit tov me'od. So he speaks Hebrew really good. All right, so that's what we should have for number 1. I'm just going to go ahead and do number 2, and we'll just get a couple of these at the same time. Ani blank all hakor. This looks like hakorsim. Hakorsim shalanu. Let's take a look at that, what that hakorsim is. Al hakorsim shalanu. Let's see here. Looks like we need a, okay. Courses, that's right.
על הקורסים שלנו.
Listen, that literally is a transliteration. Coursim is courses. That's a transliteration of an English word, courses. A coursim. Look at that. It's very close to an English word, isn't it? Okay, so ani blank. So we're probably going to be talking, right? And notice that anaknu it's the first person plural, first person plural. And technically, anaknu can be either masculine or feminine. The problem you have here is you have to figure out, you have to read further ahead. And because we've seen hakorsim, and because we're seeing shalanu, that all haprofessorim shalanu, and this would be the professors. Shalana would be our professors. So I'm going to default to the masculine or mixed plural form of speaking, and that's going to be this one right here, medaberim. Okay, so it should be anakanu medaberim, all hakorsim shalanu. Okay, so we are talking about the courses, hakorsim shalanu, our courses, not just the courses, but our courses, the all and about haprofessorim. So that would be like the professors, right? Shalano, and about our professors. So we're talking about the courses and we're talking about our professors. Okay, so let me just double check our answer key. Remember, for the first one here, we should have medaber in each of these. And then we should have medaberim in number 2. Okay, so let's see what we have. Jonathan, who's student le'ivrit. So Jonathan, he is a student of Hebrew, or in Hebrew. Hu medaber, yep, remember that's the singular masculine, ivrit. He speaks Hebrew. Hu medaber ivrit tov meod. So he speaks ivrit tov meod. He speaks Hebrew really good. Really good. He speaks Hebrew really good. Okay, so how about this one? Anaknu medaberim. See that? So because anaknu means we, and in this case it defaults to masculine plural. Why? Because look at the rest of the sentence. Allah hakorsim shalanu. So about the courses belonging to us, the all haprofessorim shalanu, and about the professors belonging to us. Okay. This is one of the easier to do. I guess what I need to do is knock this out and knock this out. There we go. All right, so let's look at number 3 here. We have Rachel ohevet. So Rachel likes. So this is like Rachel. But it's pronounced Rachel ohevet. So Rachel likes blank. What does she like? She loves probably to speak, doesn't she? Usually girls like to speak a lot. They're more verbal than men are, by and large. So we're going to put ledaber. Okay, Rachel ohevet ledaber. Rachel loves to talk. He blank harbe. Now that's that harbe is it has to do with quantity. It has to do with a lot. And so, notice that Rachel is a female. So this is going to be the one we're using. We can't use masculine singular. We can't use mixed plural or feminine plural. We can't use that this time because we're talking about Rachel. It's just one girl. So let's put in medaberet. Okay, he medaberet harbe. And I think it means like a lot. He medaberet harbe. Yeah. All right, maybe I should put that in slower. He medaberet harbe. There we go.
היא מדברת הרבה.
Yeah, harbe. He medaberet harbe.
היא מדברת
Okay, harbe. Okay, so she talks a lot. She talks harbe means it's like a lot. He blank kol hayom. Look at that. All the day, or it means all day. She talks all day. So remember, we're still talking about Rachel, and we're using he, which means she, right? And so we're still going to use medaberet. Okay, so he medaberet kol hayom. She talks all day. Well, that really, this is a girl that really loves to talk. Okay, so we should have ledaber and medaberet on number 3. Let's try number 4. We'll do 2 of these at a time, then check the answers. Ani blank b'telephone. So I blank ima sheli kol yom. So look at that. In this case, I think we're going to default to the masculine singular without any other indicator. Usually it's more proper to default to the masculine singular if you don't have any other indicator that tells you whether it's because ani is first person, and it can be a girl or a boy because they're talking about themselves, but it can be a girl or a boy. So it could potentially, depending on what else is in the sentence, it could use medaberet, but I'm going to default to medaber because I don't see anything else here that tells me that it's going to be medaberet. Okay, so I'm going to put ani medaberet. My mem is kind of sloppy there. So ani medaber b'telephone im ima sheli kol yom. So this is a mama's boy here. This is a mama's boy. He talks to his mother all day. He must not be married. So ani medaber b'telephone im ima sheli kol yom. So I am speaking on the telephone with my mother kol yom all day. Anaknu blank all hamishpatim. No, this hamishpaka. That's right. About the family. So this fellow really likes to talk to his mom about the family. Maybe they got some rascals in there and they're going on and on about those people. I don't know. So because it's anaknu and because it includes his mother, and I'm assuming that this ani is masculine, it's going to be a mixed plural. Okay, so let's clear some of this out here. So it's not going to be masculine singular. It's not going to be feminine singular because we got 2 people that are talking together, and so most likely it's going to be this mixed plural. And it's definitely not going to be this because we're assuming ani is a guy. So now they technically they could assign that as medaberet here. And in that case, it would be medaberot. But I don't see any definite indicator of that. So I'm going to default to the masculine. Now, I could be wrong about this. So let's see what it is. So in this case, I'm going to put medaberim here. Okay, so medaberim. So we should have medaber and medaberim. All right, let's take a look at 3 and 4. Okay, so we have Rachel ohevet. Rachel likes ledaber. She likes to talk. He medaberet harbe. So she talks a lot. He medaberet kol hayom. She talks all day. Kol hayom. Look at that. Okay, so we got that one right. How about this one? Oh, look at this. They gave us both options. Check that out. They gave us both options. All right. Ani Metabear, I chose Metabear. I defaulted to Metabear. And I chose not, it's not going to be that because I defaulted there. So, Batelefon ima shali kol yom. Okay, so on the telephone with my mother, ima shali would be my mother, kol yom, all day. Anaknu metaberim, all hamishpacha, about the family. Okay, so now the only thing I might say here is, if you were to choose, let's say instead of this, you were to choose metaberet. Well, guess what? That would necessitate this to be changed, because now you're talking about two females. Okay, and then that would make that metaberot. Okay, but they only give us one option here, so I'm not sure what the point is of this text and even putting metaberet in there. All right, so let's go on to number 5 and 6. Okay, so number 5, we have Yael Ohevet et let's see, this is Ha'achot, that's the sister. Okay, Yael Ohevet et Ha'achot. She loves the sister Shalcha, her sister. That Shalcha speaks of Yael. Yael Ohevet et Ha'achot Shelah. She loves her sister, Ruti. So this is like Ruthie. That would be in English, Ruthie, but it's pronounced Ruti in Hebrew. Hen blank. Now look at this one here. Basikif kol yom. Basikif. I wonder what that is. Basikayif. 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 I don't know. That's a new one for me. Skype. Ha ha. Beskype. It's a transliteration. So it's on SKYPE. Who uses Skype anymore? I don't know. Maybe there's people out there to use it. But Skype kol yom. Okay, so all day. Okay, so she's talking to her sister all day on Skype. Okay, so because we're talking about Yael and Ruti, that's two girls, we're gonna default to this, metaberot. Let's clear this up a little bit. Because remember, the metaberot is feminine plural. Okay, so metaberot. Okay, so hen metaberot, Skype kol yom, all day on Skype. Okay, so we should have metaberot here in number 5. Let's take a look at number 6. Ha'anishim b'Yisrael. So it's like the men in Israel. Talmid. This looks like the men in Israel. Talmid. This is Talmid, I think. Not Talmid, it's Talmid. Ha'anishim b'Yisrael. Talmid. Tamid. Yeah. Now this is not Nashim, it's Ha'anashim. Ha'anashim. Okay, the people in Israel, so this
האנשים בישראל תמיד.
yeah, Tamid. So this means always. Always what? All politica, about politics. Wow, these really sound like my kind of people. I love talking about politics. Look at that. So they're talking about politics. So because we're using ha'anashim, which just means people in a general sense, we're going to default to this right here, metaberim. Okay, so metaberim. Okay, so Ha'anishim, so the people, by Israel in Israel, tamid, let's see, what is that? Yeah, always, that's right, always. Medaberim are talking al politica. That's literally a transliteration of politics. Okay, politica. So the people in Israel are always medaberim al politica. They're always talking about politics. Okay, so we should have medaberim here, and we should have in this one, we should have medaberim, and in this one, we should have medaberot. So number 5 and 6. Okay, Ya'il hohevet et ha'achot shelcha. So Ya'il likes, loves ha'achot, the sister, shelcha, belonging to her, so her sister. Ruti, and there's the name. Hen medaberot, they, now notice this medaberot because we're talking about Ya'il and Ruti, they're both girls. They are speaking Skype. They're speaking on Skype all the time. So it's like all the time, like all day or all the time. All right, so number 6, we have Anashim B'Yisrael. So the people in Israel, Tamid, always. Yeah, that's right, Tamid, always. I got to remember that one. Medaberim, notice this, because we're just talking about Ha'anashim, people, and it's going to default to the masculine plural. Because most likely it's mixed. It's a mixed plural. So we're going to put medaberim in there. All politica, about politics. All right, so that finishes up Shiur 21. And now next we have Shiur 22. Okay, that's Shiur 21, and that took me 4 videos to get through. 4 hours to slog through that with you guys. So let me see what my time is here. I probably do have enough time to finish, start this other one here. Yeah, 43. All right, I got 43. All right, let's take a look at Shiur 22. And now I'm going to start trying to memorize these. Okay, so we should have Esrim v'shtayim.
Esrim u'shtayim.
V'shtayim.
Esrim u'shtayim.
Esrim u'shtayim. Okay, so Shiur Esrim Ushtayim. Okay, so Shtayim is 2, Esrim is like 20. So basically it's like 20 plus 2 in Hebrew. So Shiur Esrim Ushtayim. So that's lesson 22. Okay, so now we have Milot Yachas. Let's take a look at that. Those are words. Milot Yachas. Yeah, prepositions.
Milot yachas.
Yeah, yachas. So these are like words, prepositions. Yachas.
Milot yachas.
Okay, milot yachas. Okay, so let's take a look at these prepositions here. Hapu'alim would be like verbs, right? Verbs. So we have lishmoa, that's like to listen. Lirot, that comes from, I think that comes from to see. Let's double check that. Lirot. Yeah, to see.
Lirot.
Okay, that's to see. Likro, that comes to read. And ledaber is to talk, right? Umilot chaychas. Umilot chaychas. 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 Yeah. Not quite getting the nuance there. Okay, and the prepositions.
ומילות היחם.
Hayahas. Oh, it's not hayaham, it's hayahas.
ומילות היחס.
Yeah, hayahas. Umilot. So this would be like, and the words hayahas of the preposition. So it's like the prepositions, words, prepositions. Okay, so et or no et, so that's the definite marker there. Or here's prepositions bet and all. Remember, the bet is in, with, or on. All means upon. I think this is the upon one. Okay, so all four verbs could take a direct object, which may be definite. Recall that definite direct objects require et or indefinite. Okay, so all four verbs can take a direct object or may be, which may be definite or indefinite. Okay, so here's some examples. Dan shomea hadashot. So Dan is listening to the news, or listening to news, just listening to news. There's not hadashot. There's just hadashot, which is a hat. It's not hadashot. So Dan's listening to news. Dan shomea et. This looks like behatzi hayom. Behatzi hayom. Let's take a look at that. Dan shomea et behatzi hayom. Okay, Dan is listening. Behatzi, that's what we need. Sounds like somebody I know about me.
דן שומע את בחצי היום.
Behatzi hayom. So Dan hears you half the day. So he's always listening to the news. Dan shomea et behatzi hayom. He hears you half the day because he's always listening to the news. Okay, Rachel koret. So Rachel is reading Sefer, a book, Me'anyan. Me'anyan. That's got to be excellent book, I think. Is an interesting or excellent book. Rachel koret Sefer Me'anyan. Yeah, interesting book. That's right.
רחל הקורס ספר מעניין.
No, it's koret. Koret. There we go.
רחל קוראת ספר מעניין.
Yeah, Rachel koret Sefer Me'anyan. Okay, so this is like book, and this is interesting. Okay, so she reading an interesting book. Notice that it's indefinite. Rachel koret et hasefer sheli. So Rachel is reading the book belonging to me, my book, reading my book. Okay, so that's definite. So that's why you would have the et in there. Okay, let's take a look at this down here. Ehud lo medaber. So Ehud is not speaking. That's Sephartit, I think, is the French one, isn't it? Ehud lo medaber Sephartit. Yeah, that's right.
אהוד לא מדבר צרפתית.
Tsarfatit. So Ehud is not speaking French, Tsarfatit. Now that's interesting because a lot of the languages in Hebrew are just transliterations like Amerikai, or there are other ones that are just transliterations of English words, but Sephartit doesn't sound anything like French, does it? I don't think so. All right, the phrases Shomea radio, listening to the radio, and roe televisia, watching television, are fixed expressions. And as such, they do not acquire the definite article or the preposition et. Wow, that's an important one. So listening to the radio, well, if you were to say listening to a particular show, then it probably would include "et" in there as the definite article marker. But if you're just listening to the radio, anything could be on the radio. There's lots of radio stations. If you're just watching television, anything could be on the television. There's lots of programming on the television. So that's not definite. So it does not require a definite article or a preposition. All right, for example, okay, so anaknu lo ro'im. So we do not watch televizia. We don't watch television. Anaknu shom'im. We listen radio o korim, or read iton. So ha'iton, it's going to be ha'iton. In other words, if the hey is there, it's going to be an et. If the hey is not there, it's not going to be an et. So that's what they're doing there. Okay, so because they're watching televizia, that's indefinite. So there's no et in there. Radio could be anything indefinite. There's no et in there for the direct object marker. Note that the phrase shomeo et haradio, listening to the radio, does in fact exist, but it means hear the radio. Right, not listen to the radio. Oh, look at that. It means hear the radio. Hear the radio. Shomea et haradio. Okay, let's take a look at this here. Ani shomea et haradio shel I think it's shukan or shakanim. At shomea et haradio shel hashakanim. Yeah, that's right. Ani. Yeah.
אני שומע את הרדיו של השכנים.
Yeah, et haradio shel hashakanim.
אני שומע את הרדיו של השכנים.
Okay, so I am listening at radio, the radio, shell belonging to hashakanim would be the neighbor. So I'm listening, or I'm hearing the neighbor's radio, essentially, hearing the neighbor's radio. All right, the preposition bet is usually used when describing the means of communication. Okay, ani okay, it's going to be roe, I think. Ani roe. Ani roe. This is like tukanit. I wonder what that is. Ani roe tukanit. Oh yeah, like a program.
אני רואה תוכנית.
Tokanit. It's tokanit, so that's got to have a whole M there. Tokanit. Me'ani interesting program. Me'ani but televizia, on the television. Okay, the preposition bet is usually used when describing the means of television. So like, remember the bet means in with or on. Potentially that's a preposition. That's the bet letter in front of any Hebrew word. So I am watching, I am watching Hatukanit. I see a show.
אני רואה תוכנית.
Yeah, Tokanit. I see a show. Me'anianet, interesting show, but televizia, on the television. Okay. All right, so here's some examples. Lama ata. So I think that is lama, I think is where, if I remember correctly. Lama shomea. No, why? That's right.
למה שומע?
Lama shomea. Medaber. So lama shomea. Oh, wait a minute here. We need lama ata. Okay, so I don't know where I got the shomea from. Wait, stop that. Okay, let's see here. Lama ata. So why are you, Medaber, why are you speaking? But telephone, on the telephone, ima shacha, with your mother, kol hayom. Sounds like something a wife would say to a husband. Okay, lama ata medaber but telephone. Okay, so Why are you speaking? Lama ata medaber b'telephone im ima with your mother? Shalcha kol yom, all day, every day. Why are you speaking on the telephone with your mother every day? Okay, so in this case, it's just talking about the preposition bet, which means in, with, or on, okay? All right, let's take a look at this here. The preposition all, about or on the other hand, is used to tell you what you are reading or speaking about. Okay, so here's Einat. I think that's like E-I-N-A-T. Einat Koret. Einat is reading Ba'iton. Reading about Ha'aliyah Marusia. Look at that, Ha'aliyah Marusia. Marusia. Well, that's an interesting one here. Einat Koret Ba'iton al Ha'aliyah Morsia. Okay, from Mercy. Oh, it's Russia. Marusia. Marusia. Okay. So Einat. There we go. So Einat Koret. Come on now. Reads in the newspaper. Okay, so that's what that bet means, in the newspaper. Yeah, that's right, in, with, or on. Okay.
עינת קוראת בעיתון על העלייה מרוסיה.
Yeah, Marussia. Okay, so basically what this says here is Einat Koret. And this has got to be a girl. It's feminine, but it doesn't sound like a girl's name, does it? Einat Koret Ba'iton, in the newspaper, all about Ha'aliyah. So this Ha'aliyah means like immigration. Marusia.
עינת קוראת בעיתון על העלייה מרוסיה.
Yeah, Marusia.
עינת קוראת בעיתון על העלייה מרוסיה.
So this is like from Russia. Okay, from Russia. And that Russia does sound a lot like the English word Russia, doesn't it? Russia. Okay. All right, let's check this out here. Ronit. I think that's like R-O-N-I-T, kind of like that, Ronit. Metabaret. Okay, so Ronit is speaking Kol Hayom every day about Haver Shalha. So her word, about her friend. So in this case, it's going to be probably about. She's not going to be speaking on her friend. She's not standing on her friend while she's speaking on her friend. It's about. Okay, so Ronit Metabaret Kol Hayom al Haver Shalcha, her friend, about her friend. She speaks all day about her friend. That's not a very good friend, is it? If you have a friend that's constantly talking about you, would that be a very good friend? I don't know about that. It's not very good to have friends that have runny mouths. They're constantly talking about you, you know. They're constantly running off about what you're doing. All right, let's see here. Now look at this here. So this is like, I remember I looked that up already. Yeah, it's like in the middle of the day. Okay, that's right, in the middle of the day. So that's what that was up here. Okay, so where was that at again? Where is that? I lost track of it. It's up there somewhere. Okay, and then look at this right here. He Megzayin Hadashot Radio. Okay, so let's take a look at this Megzayin. Who Megzin? Oh, it's magazine. That's right, magazine. Hadashot Radio. Hadashot. Yeah.
הוא מגזין חדשות ברדיו.
Okay, who magazine Hadashot Radio. Okay, so it is a news. In other words, this is not it is a news magazine on the radio. Ka'an Bet. So that's got to be the name of it. Ka'an Bet. I wonder what that is.
כאן בית.
Ka'an Bet. That must be the name of one. Kol Yom, every day, 12 o'clock p.m. Okay. I'm not sure what all that connects to. All right. Tuknit. Look at that. Tukniot. This is program. Aliyah. Literally it's like this word right here. Aliyah means to ascend up to Yah, which is Zion. So Aliyah is simply a word for immigration in the modern Hebrew vernacular. Kol Yom is like all day or every day. Kol Hayom would be like all the day, all day long. All the day. All right, so that brings us down to Targil 1, and I think probably our hour is exhausted with all of that. That gives us a good idea of what this chapter is going to be about. Yeah, we're at an hour right now. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to stick this on here. That's where I do next. I'm going to remove these other ones here. Delete. Delete. Well, I don't get confused. Okay, so we are in Shior Esrim Shtayim. So Esrim Shtayim 22. So it's like Esrim would be like 20, and then Shtayim would be number 2. So 20 and 2. Shior Esrim Shtayim. Okay, so we're looking at these prepositions, bet and all. Okay, and so that's what this is going to be about. We went through our vocabulary. Next time, we'll probably go through our vocabulary again. All right, so if you guys enjoyed this, I hope you did. This is a production of Hebrew Messianic Israel, and you can find us at www.hmisrael.com. Okay, and you can also reach out to me at shul@hmisrael.com. Also, remember, we have Sabbath services. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are a Messiah believing. That means we believe in Jesus, that he is the sole redeemer for mankind, because the Bible tells us that there is only one under heaven whereby men may be saved. There's only one, and that's Yeshua the Messiah. Okay, so if you want to get into that room, it's a Zoom room. Go to www.theyahad.com. Also, remember, if you'd like to make a donation, Cash App, cash tag, and what is it? My Cash App, cash tag, it is Micromessianic. Okay, send a donation. I'm not making any money on this. This is something I'm just offering to the public. It's my journey of study into Hebrew, and I hope that you guys are picking up something from this. I know I am. The more I work with the language, the more I learn, the more it is impressed on my mind. And I hope that you guys are thinking that way as well. Remember the old proverb, if you're not moving ahead, if you're standing still, you can't progress. Even if you're moving ahead slowly, you're still progressing. It's better to move ahead slowly than to stand still. All right, so with all of that, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will say shalom, shalom.